Next subject.
308, 8 chapter, Madhya-lila chapter 8, 308 to 313. No, whatever we discussed. Any comments? You are Chaitanya Gaura Chandra Prabhu, so you should be telling us more too. Microphone.
But every person who practices whichever kind of not okay. So whichever spiritual cult, they may feel that they are the bona fide people. So how do we reconcile with this?
Yes.
Everybody feels whatever they are practicing is only correct.
Okay. Harishan Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा। तो प्रश्न ये है कि जैसे कि श्रील प्रभुपाद यहाँ पे कहते हैं कि हमें किसी प्रामाणिक गुरु से ही कृष्ण कथा के बारे में, कृष्ण भक्ति के बारे में सुनना चाहिए, लेकिन फिर बहुत सारी संस्थाएं हैं वो भी ये कहेंगे कि हमारे गुरु जो प्रामाणिक हैं, तो इस बात को कैसे?
I was just hearing this lecture on Prabhupada. He was saying who is a bona fide guru. So he's saying anybody who repeats and who follows Krishna's teachings in Bhagavad Gita is a bona fide guru. He said it's very simple. He just has to repeat it and follow it in toto. Like it's not like selectively applying it. And he was also saying like let me recollect. And without any side agenda. The agenda is not for his own fame, for his maintenance or anything like that. The agenda is say as it is. Okay? The only reason, only agenda for him is glorification of the Supreme Lord. So that is how it is defined as a bona fide guru. And we are not going to go back and say, okay, you are bona fide, all those things. Okay, we have this discipline and all those things are there. So this is a very simple explanation Srila Prabhupada gave. Just repeat Krishna's words and act as per his instruction and without any side agenda. This makes a process bona fide. Because we are all subjected to 4 kinds of defects as a conditioned living. And third to chapter 23. So Prabhupada was saying, as a conditioned living entity, we are subjected to 4 kinds of defects, like we cheat, we make mistakes, our senses are imperfect. What is the 4th one? We are under illusion, right? So then, like, how do we know, like, whatever we are saying is above these faults? He says, like, all we have to do is receive this knowledge as it is, from, as Prabhupada describes as a Guru Parampara, and try to live as per what is given. Try to practice faithfully. This makes this knowledge above these 4 modes, the 4 defects. So that's how he described something is bona fide, or a guru is bona fide.
तो हरिश्याम प्रभु ने कहा है कि नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन, मतलब भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु, एक पुस्तक है जिसके बारे में जो प्रभुपाद जी कथा कर रहे थे, तो उसमें प्रभुपाद जी कहते हैं कि जो कोई भी प्रमाणिक गुरु वही होगा जो भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने भगवद गीता में जो कहा है, श्रीमद् भागवत में कहा, बिना किसी मतलब वो एज इट इज, यथारूप जो है लोगों को सेम कथा को आगे कहे, ठीक है, तो वो प्रामाणिक गुरु माना जाता है।
Bala Prabhu, would you have like to say something?
Thank you for the answer, Prabhu. My question is like on the lines of what Mataji asked. Are we not supposed to say the 4 prominent paramparas are only these. And like in this purport only he says, no, the guru must be bona fide. He must have heard from his guru, and that guru's lineage should link to Krishna. Can we not say that apart from any? Because a devotee might say, my guru is bona fide. But whether he has his guru and is he repeating what his guru is saying, at that place, I think 99% of them will go out of there. Right? We can say that these are 4 bona fide paramparas in a way.
One lady is there in the Shobha Chrysanthemum apartment. She says, that Asha aunty, she wears a locket of her guru, and she says that he is the incarnation of Shiva and he is my guru. He showed Shiva. So can we tell them directly that who is their guru and who is their guru? It offends them, no? It is something very sensitive topic to be dealt like that.
Mike, we are only repeating what is the 4 prominent lineages, right? Lakshmi, which came from Brahma, which came from Rudra. So maybe they have to find out and tell that in Rudra which linkage is there. I mean, why should we dilute and not tell? Is my question. I agree with you. I am also facing many people when I preach in new places and they say, I can't tell the mantra what my guru has told me. I chant that also, and I can't even tell you. So, yeah, we do face that. That's why I asked the question actually, very much the same. That Prabhu mentioned we may not tell. So that's why. Are we allowed to tell that these are the 4 prominent paramparas is what I wanted to ask.
Sundari Mataji, you have something to say, please.
My thoughts were until and unless they are very serious and they want to follow what Prabhupada has given, it is better to just give them prasadam and be nice to them. Our character will speak much more than what we instruct them. So once they have a certain faith and once they are ready to receive what we say, then it is better to inform them. If we inform them earlier, or maybe like they might get offended and they might also offend the Lord and the devotees. So it is better to keep a little distance in the beginning.
I'm asking more from the preaching point. We are not doing one-on-one at all. Where we are talking, and obviously 4.1, some places at least we need to be very upfront. These are the 4 paramparas, these lead, and all of them link back to Krishna. You can continue.
It is there, but sometimes if you see, we claim ourselves to be part of Madhvacharya Sampradaya. Whether they accept us, we don't know. Right? Maybe there are acharyas who are accepted, like I think Pejawar Math Acharya said, like Srila Prabhupada is the one who brought this Bhakti Ganga from the spiritual world. So the acceptance is there. But there are also people who question. They don't even accept, like, it's not about our Sampradaya. They also question Sri Sampradaya philosophy, like our Sampradaya. So it leads to more debate and questions. So it's better to, I would say, like, follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita, right, as it is.
Program 2, what's your thoughts on this?
Correct. Prabhu, actually, I know the Mataji which they're talking about. I mean, I am of the opinion that, see, let's take an example of what Varadarajan Prabhu is just telling. You have, let's say, 40 people there, and you are going to preach to them, right? You are going to tell them what is in the scriptures. You are not going to go and have a debate with them there. You are going to go and just preach and tell them 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 ones. And that's what Mataji did in our class also. She came and she said, these are the 4 sampradayas, and these are the 4 lineages, and these are the 4
start of the entire chain of how you can, relate to your guru. So there, you are not going to have a debate. Maybe people will ask a question, I follow this, I follow that. So it's left for them to go and, figure it out as to where it is connected to them or not. We are not going to dilute what is going to be told from the scriptures. And that's what Mataji also did rightly. She said, because people believe in something, we are not going to dilute the fact of what it is going to be. And I would, to some extent, agree with Hemasundari Mataji, is unless and otherwise it becomes like a collective argument where people say, no, what you're telling is wrong and all of it, it is better to, kind of not enforce anything on them. And if they're going to come and have a one-on-one, just clearly tell them, these are the four, you figure out where this aligns to. And that's what I think Mataji also did with Asha Mataji. He's telling, these are the four, you just go to your guru and figure out where it is going to be. And I think it should be rested there. Rather than, getting into yours is bigger or ours is bigger or why this, why that. It is not worth that conversation in that forum. And also, for them to, if they've come to your level of plane, then you can really relate to it. Else, just leaving it there is better. That's just my opinion.
हरे कृष्ण। ओके, तो प्रभु जी ने प्रश्न पूछा है कि जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं ना कि जो गुरु शिष्य परंपरा है, ये चार परंपरा है कि ब्रह्म संप्रदाय, श्री संप्रदाय, कुमार संप्रदाय, रुद्र संप्रदाय। तो लेकिन अगर मान लो मैं कोई कथा कर रहा हूँ, बहुत सारे लोग बैठे हैं, नए लोग बैठे हैं, तो उनके सामने मुझे खुला ऐसा बोल देना चाहिए। कुछ लोग होते हैं उसमें जो कथा सुन रहे हैं, तो उनको शायद किसी गुरु को मानते हो जो इस परंपरा में नहीं आते हो, उनको बुरा लग सकता है। तो क्या इस तरह से ओपनली हमको बोल देना चाहिए, बोल्ड होके? तो प्रभु जी और माता जी ने अपने अपने विचार रखे। तो कहते हैं कि हेमसुंदरी माता जी ने कहा कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति सुनने के मूड में हो, ठीक है, उसका विश्वास और सुनने के मूड में हो और सच में थोड़ा सीरियस हो, उसको आप अच्छे से डिटेल में बता सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर कोई व्यक्ति ऑलरेडी किसी को मान रहा है, फॉलो कर रहा है, तो उसको अपने एकदम से आप बताओगे तो वो विचलित हो जाएगा। तो हमें उनसे जो है एक मतलब, जैसे विनोदिनी माता जी ने क्या किया, किसी ने बोला कि मेरे जो गुरु शिव जी का अवतार है, ठीक है, वो मैं उनको मानती हूँ, प्रामाणिक है। तो विनोदिनी माता जी ने क्या कहा कि देखो ये चार परंपरा है, आप अपने गुरु से पूछ के आइए कि वो किस परंपरा में आते हैं। तो इस तरह से बड़े सॉफ्टली और बिना उनको हर्ट किए इस तरह से जवाब दिया। तो हमें देश काल और परिस्थिति के हिसाब से अपने प्रश्नों का, ये प्रीचिंग का जो हमें देना चाहिए। थैंक यू।
I'm going to speak for quite some time. You may have to summarize later. I had a question. I had a question, but I'm morphing into this part here. The next chapter is about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to the holy places. Until now, what happened is Mahaprabhu had left Puri. After leaving Puri, he had come to the bank of Godavari. So Puri to Godavari is still not that big a distance. And on the banks of Godavari, he met Ramananda Rai. They had the discussion on what is the ultimate aim of life, what is the most highly pleasurable thing in this world, how Sri Krishna is the ocean and the reservoir of that pleasure, and what's the nature of the devotees who are associated with Krishna, what's the nature of the love between the devotees and Krishna, who can achieve it. All of these things were discussed at this, and where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is ending this chapter is saying only those who have faith can actually trust this. Otherwise they will just say this is some a figment of imagination. Now I had one question in mind, but I'm setting it aside because the topic went elsewhere. Here in the commentaries by the purports, Srila Prabhupada is saying that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that this conversation between Ramananda Rai and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was written in the Kadacha, the notes, by Swarup Damodar. From Swarup Damodar, I am taking it. So Srila Prabhupada is basically bringing the principle of disciplic succession. And then he had said, in this way, the message is transmitted in the bona fide spiritual disciplic succession from the bona fide spiritual master to bona fide student. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is concluding it by paying obeisances to the 6 Goswamis. It is for this purpose that we can access Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only through the 6 Goswamis, that in the morning classes we are hearing about the life and the activities of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. It's very essential to hear that. It is given. But there is also the principle of knowledge coming from bona fide spiritual master to the disciple in succession. We Indians, in general, have an affinity for knowledge, somehow or the other. We believe ours is a knowledge civilization. No, I'm giving one, setting the context. I'm not yet. वो मैं बोलूँगा, question बोल दूँगा. Please don't laugh at my Hindi. Your batchmate keeps laughing at my Hindi. It is because of her I'm not able to speak Hindi. Okay, so if you consider any other culture like American culture or even European culture, they value doing things. They don't value so much in knowledge. They say have little knowledge, but manifest that little knowledge into reality. So if you take like a bachelor's degree of engineering course, they'll have lesser number of courses than what Indians do, but they'll have lots of projects. And with that less coursework, they end up doing much more. And 2 young boys here, this is not a place for playing. Shivam? Shivai? No. Can you look at me? You don't need to look down. Look at me. You understand English, right? You understand? You don't understand English. So then you don't need to go to school from tomorrow, correct? And because what is the use of going to school if you don't understand English? They teach in English, isn't it? Okay. This knowledge culture in India effectively leads to a great appreciation for the role of a teacher. And therefore, in India especially, this notion of guru-disciple relationship is very much valued. Then comes the question, why does one need a guru? The outright answer is, since we come from this knowledge-based civilization, I need guru to learn knowledge. Of course, in this era of ChatGPT or Google or whatever you call that, even that person called guru is not necessary. If whatever the guru has to say, if he is anyway going to be aligned to the scriptures, and the scriptures they all have been scanned and put into ChatGPT, then ChatGPT can do the reasoning. So it's not required. So what else is the need for a guru? And I'm telling this question because many times when people come in a spiritual sangha, at some point in time, this way or that way, they feel that maybe I should have a guru. Okay? There's a nice devotee by name Bhrigu-pada Prabhu. And he is a disciple of His Holiness Suhatra Maharaj, who is no longer here, invisibly and so. And he has very nicely, Hare Krishna, Mango, Pukarango. Please, Pukarango. மூணு பேர் உட்காந்து முடியும் உட்காருங்க. You understand Tamil? No. Okay. So why do people go for a guru? And I'll go. So this is the question. Dear Prabhu, why do people go for a guru? First and foremost, most people go for a good, not most, a good number of people go for a guru because they see a parent in a guru. For many people, they come from a dysfunctional family. Either the father is not responsible, he's not knowledgeable, he cannot guide, or maybe in the rest of the family, nobody was there to guide the person. So they now are looking for a person who is an epitome of perfection. Every child here, all these children who are here in this, what is it called? The balcony class, is it? The balcony seat children who are here, they would all say that I know my father, he gets angry at this, he beats me when I do this, so therefore he is not perfect. So this way or that way, a child will finally see that the parent is not perfect, and they are looking for a warmth, and they are looking for a sense of belongingness. So many people look at the spiritual masters, he is my spiritual father, a protective umbrella around them, somebody who is theirs, who will not judge them for where they are, and who can accept them as they are. So, and for invariably, for a lot of people, that is what a guru is, a parent. Then comes the next level set of people. They see the guru more as something like a local Raja or a local feudal lord, so to say. What is a local Raja? Or I'm not talking about an emperor as such, you can even call him as an emperor. Especially those who look at a guru like a Shankaracharya or somebody like that. You have 4 prominent Shankar Mats. There are these 4 Shankaracharyas, and for those of you who are from Karnataka, there's a Shankar Mat in Sringeri. During Navaratri, the Shankaracharya, he wears saffron robes, but on top of it he wears a silk cloth, which colored cloth. He wears a kirita, he wears a crown, he's carried on a palanquin, he's carried on an elephant, and he's given golden sandals, all of that. He's treated as a Raja. And one should treat one's spiritual master as a Raja. That's it. As a principle, it is very true given in the scripture. But people want that kind of a guru. Some of them want that kind of a guru. Why? Because for a good number of people, they can accept a guru only if he has power. And the power has to be manifest in terms of the number of disciples who are there for him. The more the number of disciples, the more is his influence, number one. Or what we call the number of actions that he can influence. Here is the guru who has created a hospital, he has created a temple, he has created a school, and he has so many disciples too, and he has made so many things. So the extensiveness of the actions comes there too. And some people see the greatness of a guru in terms of how much sacrifice can he elicit from others. If he says jump, will the disciple be ready to even jump from the top of a cliff? And if somebody has jumped and they have survived it, it's even more greater. So the point I'm trying to say here is people not necessarily look at guru from a perspective as a fully spiritual. Some they won't look at it as a parent. Some they look in terms of the power which is coming from the guru. The power is a byproduct, but the problem is the disciple sees the byproduct. The affection is also in one sense a byproduct, or it is not. We have, like, when we look at the guru as a parent, we may lack affection in our life, we may lack affection from our relatives, and we yearn for something which we lack in other places from the guru. It can happen that way. Is that all to the guru? No, there is much more to it. Some see the guru definitely as a teacher. So his role is limited to that being a teacher. I don't know something, he knows something, he has to teach me. That's it. It could be a teacher of a mantra, it could be teaching scriptures, or I know mantra, I know scriptures, but I don't know how to conduct my daily life. I see a personal example in him and I will follow his example. So it's a teacher of personal example. That is also possible. But then comes the extreme case. Some people feel, I don't need all of this. I should come close to him. I will touch my head to his head, and suddenly there is going to be a current that is going from his head to my head, and I am going to get all the realization. Why? Because it was such a pain for me to study so many things in life. After all the studying from first standard to another 15 years of studies, if again I have to study, why should I do that? Right? So make it simple. You are really a guru if in 2 minutes you can transmit everything from yourself to me. That's all. More than 2 minutes means you are not a guru at all. So that is another kind of understanding which people have. Does it mean that there are other, like all gurus don't do this way of mystical transmission? No. History has it that there have been gurus in all the valid sampradayas where such a mystical transmission has happened. It is not that it has not happened. But the problem is the expectation that it should happen with me. It happened with exceptionally qualified people, and it should happen with me also. That is a problem. Another way in which people see the guru is that the guru is a preserver of tradition. I can value this person as a guru only if he preserves the heritage, the customs, the literature. He preserves the institution of his good guru. As long as he's been doing that, he is a valid guru. That's what some people think like. So to the extent somebody satisfies it, he's a valid guru. He doesn't, or to put it a little differently, this person is a guru because he's not adding anything new from what is given in the parampara. He has told exactly what his guru has said, he is preserving it, so he is a guru. That's the understanding of some of them. Then when you come to one more thing, some people see the guru as a renewer of tradition. Somebody who takes a classical thing and brings a contemporary touch to it. Srila Prabhupada was one such renewer of tradition. If you all go through the commentaries of different acharyas, Taruni, if you all go through the commentaries of acharyas, you would see the way it's written is, number one, the Purva Paksha says this, and this is a possibility that is happening here, this is my hypothesis, and then comes the Siddhanta. If you read Prabhupada's commentaries, none of the commentaries, not none, I shouldn't say none, most of the commentaries don't follow this. Some do follow this, but most of them don't follow it. So Srila Prabhupada broke the tradition, and instead he said, my hippie boys and girls and these modern people, they do not have the intellectual capacity to go through so many concepts and come through it. This is not for them. They need a different kind of presentation. He changed the presentation. Or some of them even try to create a new tradition in one sense. Like Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was an example of creating a new tradition. Prior to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the notion of the Gayatri mantra, the Savitra Gayatri mantra, the one which begins with Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, that was not one of the mantras given in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. The Pancharatriki mantras were given, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra was given, but not the Savitra Gayatri. It was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur who gave it. The notion of a sacred thread being given was not there prior to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He did that. Why? Because he saw that, okay, people do this part in the family culture and they come here for this. I'm going to harmonize and make everything as one. That was something new that he did. So he created a new tradition altogether as such. Prior to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there were no sannyasis in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. He started the whole order of sannyas. Some gurus do it across all traditions. That's there. But until now, whatever I have been telling now, they are all in one sense external. When we look at a bona fide guru, only in terms of these, it's nice, but it is still external. Now I'll come to the internal part. The true guru is a mediator between the disciple and God. In other words, the guru recommends the disciple to the spiritual master. To the Supreme Lord, I'm sorry. Of course, he recommends to his own spiritual master and finally to the Supreme Lord. In that sense, he without his recommendation, nothing can happen. In that sense, he is an expansion of the Karunya Shakti of the consort of the Supreme Lord. That's one. And he is a key medium for the devotee to access Krishna, that is there, but also for Krishna to access a devotee. In other words, Krishna will not enter the life of a devotee unless and until he hears something from the Guru or a pure devotee, to say that way. And because he is a mediator between God and the devotee, the Guru is the greatest devotee. Why? Because why will Krishna reveal himself to somebody? Krishna says that I sell myself to my pure devotees. And therefore, the Guru who is recommending, etc., he is a pure devotee in that sense. So that is the internal identity of the Guru. But what is most important here is, for a disciple, is that this Guru is a manifestation of divinity. In other words, the love of the Supreme Lord to this Guru is so high, and the Guru's love for the Supreme Lord is so high, that they both have become one in purpose. They have not lost their ontological identity, but they have become one in purpose. Just like in a marriage, when the husband and the wife have the same purpose, you can see the wife doing the same thing that the husband does, or vice versa. That is the extent to which the Guru becomes as good as God. Sakshad Dharitvena Samasta Shastre Uttasata Bhavyata Eva Sadvihi Kintu Prabodhya Priyeva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda. So the bona fideness should actually be seen in the terms that the Guru wants what God wants. And the Guru is there to forward the disciple to his spiritual master and therefore to the Supreme Lord. Many times we get stuck at the externals alone. That we shouldn't be. I mean, it's nice, that is where we might be, but we shouldn't be limited by it. Now, any comments? No. Shall we won't do this, or you can tell after the class, because you'll make notes. You go to the next chapter and you just do a summary. Or you think it's, what's the time? 5 minutes, okay.
More. हरे कृष्ण, थोड़ा हिंदी में अनुवाद देखेंगे. ओके. तो अभी जो हम लोगों ने ये देखा है कि श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु जो जगन्नाथपुरी से निकलते हैं, गोदावरी नदी के तट पर रामानंद राय से मिलते हैं और रामानंद राय से बहुत तरह के अलग अलग विषयों पर चर्चा करते हैं कि जीवन का संपूर्ण उद्देश्य क्या है, किस तरह से भगवान कृष्ण जो है करुणा के समुद्र है, एक शुद्ध भक्त का कैसा जो है स्वभाव होना चाहिए, ये सब हम डिस्कस करते हैं. ठीक है. और कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी कहते हैं कि जिस किसी भी व्यक्ति का इसमें विश्वास नहीं होगा, फेथ नहीं होगा, वो इस जटिल जो विषय है उनको समझ नहीं पाएगा. अब श्यामकुंड प्रभु प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं कि जब इस्कॉन में बहुत सारे लोग जो है नए लोग आते हैं और कुछ समय के बाद में उनके मन में इच्छा होती है कि मेरी भी गुरु होने चाहिए, तो एक कुछ होता है, कुछ बाह्य कारण होते हैं, कुछ होते हैं आंतरिक कारण होते हैं, कुछ होते हैं बाहर की चीज़ों को देख के गुरु बनाते हैं, कुछ चीज़ों जो आती है हमें अंदर की चीज़ को देख के हमें गुरु बनाना चाहिए. तो जनरली जो है आमतौर पे भारतीय क्या होता है कि वो ज्ञान के पीछे बहुत भागता है. अमेरिका लोग देखिए, अगर आपने शॉर्ट्स और रील में देखे होंगे, अमेरिका वाले लोग बहुत सारी चीज़ें करते हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें प्रैक्टिकल चीज़ें करते हैं, जो कि भारतीय चीज़ ज़्यादातर ज्ञान में फंसे रहते हैं. तो सेम चीज़ हाँ. तो अभी जब बहुत सारे 5-6 कारण है कि एक व्यक्ति जो है क्या अपने गुरु में देखना चाहता है. तो पहला क्या होता है कि जब बच्चा बड़ा होता है, जब देखता है कि मेरे माता पिता जो हैं वो इस तरह का उनका जो व्यवहार है या उनका जो नेचर वगैरह वो ठीक नहीं है, तो वो जब गुरु के संपर्क में आते हैं स्कूल में, कॉलेज में, तो देखते हैं कि अच्छा मेरे जो गुरु हैं, टीचर हैं, वो बहुत अच्छे हैं, बहुत अच्छे से बात करते हैं, अच्छे से केयर करते हैं, अच्छे से ध्यान रखते हैं, तो वो उनको फिर जो है उनको बहुत ही जो वो गुरु अच्छे लगने लग जाते हैं. तो सेम चीज़ जब हम किसी गुरु करते हैं तो हमको लगता है कि नहीं, ये जो गुरु है हमें रोज आके हमें मिले, मुस्कुराए हमको देख के, आपस में पूछे अच्छा क्या हालचाल है, कैसे चल रहा है, घर पे सब कुछ सब बढ़िया है। इस तरह से जो हमारे जो सामाजिक चीज़ों का ध्यान रखे, ऐसा होना चाहिए गुरु। ये कभी कभी लोगों के दिमाग में आता है। दूसरा क्या आता है कि कई बार जो कुछ मठ में जाएंगे ना, तो गुरु को एक राजा की तरह वहाँ पे उस तरह से ट्रीट किया जाता है कि कुछ कुछ टाइम में गुरु जो है अपने पूरे जो रथ पे बैठ के निकलते हैं, उनका जो मुकुट होता है और एकदम अच्छे वेशभूषा पहनते हैं, और उनका बड़ा दबदबा होता है। बहुत सारे कभी कभी जो पॉलिटिकल जो राजनीतिक लोग हैं उनके साथ में रहते हैं, तो मेरे गुरु ऐसा हो जिनका ना पावरफुल आदमी हो, कुछ दबदबा हो, ऐसा भी लोग सोचते हैं और गुरु करने की कोशिश करते हैं। कुछ लोग सोचते हैं कि नहीं मेरे गुरु जो है, देखना कितने उनके शिष्य कितने हैं, कितने जो है मुकेश अंबानी और ये सब अंबानी लोग उनके पास जाते हैं, जाते बड़े बड़े लोग जो हैं, नेता लोग हैं। तो जो जो बड़ी बड़ी हस्तियां जाती है उनकी पिक्चर, ये मेरे अच्छे गुरु हो सकते हैं जिनके बहुत सारे हॉस्पिटल खोले हैं, कॉलेजेस खोले हैं, ऐसा। और कुछ ऐसा है कि जो मतलब कि एक मेरे गुरु ऐसा है कि एक इशारे पे लोग अपनी जान देने के लिए तैयार हो जाए, ऐसा गुरु होना चाहिए। इस तरह की चीज़ों को भी देखते हैं। कुछ लोग सोचते हैं कि जो है हाँ ऐसा गुरु होना चाहिए कि मेरे गुरु के पास कुछ एक तिलिस्मी ताकत हो, जादुई ताकत हो, कि मेरे सर पे हाथ रखे और सडनली मुझे कुछ ऐसा एक अलग से शक्तियाँ आ जाए और मेरे घर में सब ठीक हो जाए, सब ज्ञान वगैरह मुझे प्राप्त हो जाए। क्योंकि मैंने ज़िंदगी भर खुद तो किताब खोल के पढ़ी नहीं, लेकिन मेरे गुरु जो हाथ रखे और मेरे को सब आ जाए, इस तरह भी मानसिकता होती है। और कुछ होती है हाँ, तो इस तरह की जो बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो रहती, लेकिन एक्चुअली जो ये रीज़न कुछ रीज़न मतलब हम देख सकते हैं, लेकिन असली रीज़न क्या देखना चाहिए कि गुरु जो क्या होता है वो भगवान और उस शिष्य के बीच में एक पारदर्शी माध्यम होता है। भगवान और कि मेरे जो गुरु हैं, मेरे गुरु जो हैं वो भगवान श्री कृष्ण से मुझे जोड़ सकते हैं या नहीं, ये एक जो है महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है जो हमें किसी को गुरु बनाते वक्त देखना चाहिए कि ये सच में मुझे भगवान के रास्ते पे शुद्ध भक्ति की तरफ लेके जा सकते हैं कि नहीं। तो एक पारदर्शी रास्ते बीच की कड़ी होती है गुरु और गुरु के, और भगवान कृष्ण भी जो है उस शिष्य को देखते हैं जिसको उनके गुरु ने रिकमेंड किया या उनके गुरु ने भगवान कृष्ण उनकी तरफ लेके जाते हैं। तो जब तक कि किसी भी शुद्ध भक्त का या किसी गुरु का हमारे जीवन में नहीं होगा, तो भगवान श्री कृष्ण भी जो है ऐसे जो शिष्य जो होते हैं या ऐसे जो भक्त होते हैं उसकी तरफ ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं देते। कहने का मतलब ये है कि अगर हमारे जीवन में कोई शुद्ध भक्त हैं या गुरु है जिनकी हम लोग बिल्कुल हमारे हृदय से उनको हम फॉलो करते हैं, मानते हैं, तो भगवान कृष्ण बड़े आसानी से उस व्यक्ति को भी, उस शिष्य को भी और या उस भक्त को भी अच्छे से उनको मानते और अपना आशीर्वाद देते हैं और भक्ति में आगे बढ़ाते हैं।
Yeah, we need somebody for the 9th chapter. Can you read this? You usually take notes. You can read this. Okay, I think a bigger book.
Hare Krishna. Summary of the 9th chapter is given by Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur. After leaving Vidyanagara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited such places of pilgrimage as Gautami Ganga, Mallikarjun, Ahovalya Narsimha, Siddhavata, then Skanda Kshetra, Trimatha, Vruddakashi, Buddhastata, Tirupati, Tirumala, Pana Narsimha, Shiva Kanchi, Vishnu Kanchi, Trikalahasti, Vruddaloka, Siyala Bhairavi, the Kaveri River, and Kumbhakarna Kapila. Finally, the Lord went to Sri Ranga Kshetra, where he converted a Brahmana named Venkata Bhatta, who along with his family took up a devotional service to Krishna. After leaving Sri Ranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached Rashabha Parvata, where he met Paramananda Puri, who later arrived at Jagannath Puri. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then proceeded farther, arriving at Setu Bandha Rameshwara at Sri Shaila
Parvata, the Lord met Lord Shiva and his wife Durga in the dress of Brahmana and Brahmani. From there he went to Kamakoshipuri and later arrived at southern Mathura. A Brahmana devotee of Lord Ramchandra talked with him. Then the Lord took his bath in the river Kartamala on the hill known as Mahendra Shaila. The Lord saw Parshurama. Then Lord went to Setubandha and took his bath at the Dhanushtrita. He also visited Rameshwara, where he collected some papers connected with Sita Devi, whose illusory form had been kidnapped by Ravana. The Lord next visited the places as Pandadesha, the Tamraparni River, Nayatripti, Chiyadattala, Tilakanchi, Gajendra Mokshana, Panagadi, Kampatpura, Sri Vaikunta, Malaya Parvata, and Kanyakumari. The Lord then confronted the Bhattaharis at Malya Desha and saved Kala Krishnadasa from their clutches. Lord also collected the Brahma Samhita 5th chapter on the banks of Payasvini river. He then visited Payasvini, Srirangapuri Matha and Matsya Tirtha. At the village of Udupi, he saw the Gopala deity installed by Sri Madhavacharya. He then defeated the Tattvavadis in a sastric conversations. The Lord next visited Paluga Tirtha, Trithakapa and Panchapasara, Surpakara and Kolapura. At the Pandarapura, the Lord received news from Sri Rangapuri that Shankaracharya had disappeared there. He then went to the banks of Krishna Venva river, where he collected from among the Vaishnava Brahmanas a book written by Bilwamangala Thakur. Sri Krishna Karnamrita. The Lord then visited Tapi, Maheshmatipura, the Narmada river and Rashamukha Parvata. He entered Dandakaranya and liberated 7 palm trees. From there he visited a place known as Pampa Sarovara and visited Panchavati, Nasika, Brahmagiri and also source of a Godavari river, Kushavarta. Thus the Lord visited almost all the holy places in the South India. He finally returned to the Jagannath Puri by taking the same route after visiting Vidyanagara again. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Now, so this section is the preaching section of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This entire 9th chapter. So, what's the time now? 8:30? 3:25. Few. Okay. Let's just all. Shamali Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, here they written, right? Like
Shankararanya.
In brackets they wrote Vishwarupa.
Correct.
Means he
The-
is the brother of
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the elder brother. That's right. That's right. Because he came on the South India trip to search for his elder brother, which was just an excuse for him to do the rest of his leela.
But he got to know that
He passed away after he reached Pandharpur.
But he saw him there
No, his brother had passed away before that. Before me. And Mahaprabhu knew this in the beginning, but he continued this. Correct. This is the chapter for Gopal Goswami. Yes.
Somebody told that your elder brother has gone.
Gone. Correct. At this place. Which place? At Pandharpur. At Pandharpur, he got to know that. So he covered the entire southern peninsula.
Why? So when you started from Puri, did somebody tell that okay, your brother has gone to?
No. His brother undertook sannyas when he was at home. So his Mother Sachi was in separation from her elder son. So he said that I'm also taking sannyas. I'll find where is my elder brother.
Why he
And
chose South Pali?
because he had told that the sannyasi with whom his elder brother had gone, he had gone down south, so he came in search of his brother in South India. Correct. That is that all that manifested. So preaching is one. So the important aspect here to all of you is, when we ask what does Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teach, we commonly tell he teaches about preaching. That is this chapter. But the previous chapter was about how one has to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. That is the previous chapter. Following this comes several other chapters of how a devotee should behave. So there are several aspects of Mahaprabhu. We should not limit him to one aspect alone. But now, for the next possibly 4, 5, 6 weeks, we are going to be limited to that one aspect. And after that, we'll come to other aspects. Like that. If you don't mind, Harish Prabhu, can we just recite few verses? We'll just recite the verse and middle of the purport. Okay? Nanamata graha grastan dakshinatya jana dvipan kriparina vimuchetan gauras chakri savaishnavan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted the inhabitants of South India. These people were as strong as elephants, but they were in the clutches of the crocodiles of various philosophies, such as the Buddhist, Jain and Mayavada philosophies. With his disc of mercy, the Lord delivered them all by converting them into Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's converting the people of South India into Vaishnavas is compared herein to Lord Vishnu's delivering Gajendra, the elephant, from the attack of a crocodile. Chaitanya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited southern India, almost all the residents were within the jaws of the crocodiles of Buddhist, Jain and Mayavada philosophy. Here, Kaviraj Goswami states, that although these people were as strong as elephants, they were almost in the clutches of death because they were being attacked by the crocodiles of various philosophies. However, just as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Vishnu saved the elephant Gajendra from the clutches of a crocodile, so he saved all the people of South India from the clutches of various philosophies by converting them into Vaishnavas. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Dakshina Kamana Prabhur Ati Vilakshana Sahasra Sahasra Tita Koila Darshana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tour of South India was certainly very extraordinary because he visited many thousands of places of pilgrimage there. Sei sabatita sparshi mahatita koila sei chale sei desher loka vistarila. On the plea of visiting all these holy places, the Lord converted many thousands of residents and thus delivered them. Simply by touching the holy places, he made them into great places of pilgrimage. It is said, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. A Tirtha or holy place is a place where great saintly personalities visit or reside. Although the holy places were already places of pilgrimage, they were all purified by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit. Many people go to these holy places and leave their sinful activities there, thus becoming free from contamination. When these contaminations pile up, they are countered by the visit of great personalities like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his strict followers. Many kinds of patients come to a hospital which may be infected by many types of diseases. Actually, the hospital is always infected, but the expert physician keeps the hospital sterilized by his expert presence and management. Similarly, places of pilgrimage are always infected by the sins left by the sinners who go there. But when a personality like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits such a place, all contaminations vanish. Yes, he purified.